So for number 9, we've got another average value of a function. They're giving us an interval, they're giving us a function, they're asking for the average value. Like I said in question 8, I like to save finding that average until the end because it involves a fraction, and the fewer fractions I have on my piece of paper, the happier I am. So if I can save that fraction for the very last step, I will. If you're more comfortable doing that at the beginning, go ahead and do it at the beginning. But I'm actually going to draw a big old star at the top of my page to remind me that once I get done finding this integral, I still have to find the average value. So I don't want to forget. So that star is just there to remind me that I might feel like I'm done solving this, but I'm not done until I've got that average. So you could even put it on the bottom of your page, wherever, just to remind you that there's more to this than just finding an integral. Okay, so they're giving us the interval from 0 to 4, and the function they're giving us is 3e to the negative x dx. I look at that and I weep quietly because it's not just e to the x. If it was e to the x, we could solve this very simply. It's very straightforward. But because it's e to the negative x, we're going to have to use substitution. So let's go ahead and rewrite this as e to the u du. So that makes our u negative x. I just took the exponent here, negative x. Derivative of u with respect to x is going to be negative 1. So du is negative 1 dx. I've got something extra here in my dx. I don't have a negative 1 up here. I've got a negative 1 down here. So I'm going to have to put that into the bottom of a fraction in front of my integral. I've got a 3 up here that doesn't match anything down here. So I've got something extra in my function that goes into the top of the fraction in front of the integral. And now I need my new bounds. So my upper bound and my lower bound, let's plug them in. I've got 4. I'm going to plug that into here. That's going to give me a negative 4. And I've got a 0 here. I'm going to plug that into my u, and that's going to give me negative 0, but that's just 0. So we're going from 0 to negative 4, and now we take our integral. We can simplify a little on the process. 3 divided by negative 1, well, that's negative 3, right? Okay. Integral of e to the u is e to the u, and we're evaluating from 0 to negative 4. So let's go ahead and plug our values in. That's going to give me negative 3 times e to the negative 4th minus negative 3 times e to the 0. I can rewrite that just a little bit. That's negative 3 e to the negative 4th plus 3. Remember that e to the 0 just equals 1, and then my negative times a negative is going to make that a positive. And I feel like I'm done, but then I remember I've got this star up here. I've still got to find that average. So to find the average, I need to multiply this by a fraction, and I get that fraction by subtracting in my original bounds 4 minus 0, and that equals 4. Let me make sure that I've got that right before I... Yep, that's it. 4 minus 0 is 4. I just wanted to double check looking at another sheet of paper. This is the answer that you can plug into WebAssign. If you wanted to do some simplification, you could. I mean, I could rewrite this as 3 minus 3e to the negative 4th times 1/4, and then that would allow me to factor out, let's see, I could factor out 3, 1 minus e to the negative 4th times 1/4, which gives me 3/4 times 1 minus e to the negative 4th. That's probably the simplest you could get that answer, but honestly, if this is what you came up with, this is going to be absolutely okay. So you don't have to simplify beyond there. No more algebra than is necessary, because every extra algebra step you do, you run the risk of making some sort of an arithmetic error. So just remember to find the integral, and we did. The integral was this negative 3e to the 4th plus 3, and then because we need the average value of the function, we have to go ahead and make that fraction, multiply it by 1 times the upper bound minus the lower bound, which is 4. And that is how we find the average value of that function.